Welcome back, tribe. Hola. So, today's medicine is based off of our oracle cards, and today's oracle cards spoke of expression of oneself. However, how does that look upon the journey, right? So, we had expectations and looking ahead for the journey and calling in the mother energy. We actually had two cards today reflecting of the mother energy and two very different mother energies, right? One was that, both were nurturing. However, one energy I felt was this like strong lioness, and the other same strong and lioness. However, she was more of the filtration system of information and emotions. Now, what does that look like, right? So water is emotions. And so understanding how ebb and flow works and the tides work, all of that is important. Yet what it keeps coming down to in today's read is strong bones, right? And so today's medicine is working with our spine and building strong bones. And so what often happens is our fascia, right, our connective tissue gets stuck to the bones, right? So a lot of people will think that they need to go to a chiropractor or a massage therapist. Yet if your connective tissue, if your fascia gets bound up, then that actually will completely reshape your whole entire structural body and create limitations in your movement. So depending on the quality of care, the therapist, the chiropractor, or the massage therapist, they may or may not have any skill or knowledge on fascia and how that actually works. And so they could work on you all day. They could readjust your bones and never get anywhere with you because your connective tissue has bound down, right? So I know for myself, I could go to a chiropractor 100 times and he still have to make the same adjustments over and over again because the connective tissue just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling things out of alignment. So my personal forte is working with connective tissue, nerves, arteries, bones. Yes, I work with muscles, yet I find that to be less important than the other pieces to it, right? So like the fascia, which is really, really important. It is the emotional highway and holds the structural alignment of who we are. All right, and if we want to make any change, that's where we want to go. So today, bear with me as we work through this video here. So we're going to start up here. I'm going to start with you here, and then I'm just going to tilt that camera down, and I'm going to bring you down to my feet. And then I'm going to instruct you a few other things. So what I see here, right? Your spinal column. Now, what often happens? We have like people, roll their shoulders. They collapse, they hinge, and notice what happens to my neck when I like curl my shoulders and collapse my diaphragm, right? Completely different, right? Like draining versus an elongated spinal column and stacking of my bones, right? So how do we access them? Well, through movement. And today we're going to do some bounce. All right. What I like about bouncing therapy and shaking therapy, now you can't see it, but I am shaking, and maybe you can now. I am working on shaking from the bones. I am not trying to shake my muscles. I'm not trying to shake my I'm not even trying to shake my booty, I'm trying to shake my bones. So right now I'm wagging the tailbone and allowing my tailbone energy to come all the way up my body. And so the more I shake, the more it wants to move through everything else, right? And so making sounds is key. As I said earlier in the videos, we are musical instruments, right? And so when you make sounds, it helps clear shit. So that's just a little taste of what we're gonna do. We're gonna go a little bit deeper into that in a moment. And the other thing we're gonna do today, and I'll instruct you two things. I think what we'll do is just start with rolling of the feet, because the arches of your feet are the representation of your spinal column. Right, if you know anything about reflexology, the whole inner arch of your foot itself is the reflex points of your whole entire spine. Okay, so if you yourself cannot get on the floor to roll your spine, then I recommend rolling your feet always. Always. It's one of the most important things you could do on a daily basis is roll your feet, really. It's so important. So I will instruct you a way of rolling your spine out. I do not believe we'll do that medicine today specifically, but I will teach you and say a few things about that. Okay, so let's shake. So I'm just going to adjust my hair here. You like that? Yep, my hair here. Okay, and so I'm going to bounce. I'm gonna shake, and your muscles should really fall off the bones, right? Not fall off the bones, but they should be able to jiggle off the bones. So if your structural body, your muscles, and you can have definition and not be stuck to the bone. That's your connective tissue gets stuck to the bone, and that's what's causing the limitations, as I had said before. So what you want to look at is, can you shake your bones? And I don't know if you realize, I mean, you can see the shaking going on here. You can see the little soft tissue shake, right? But I am really shaking a lot right now. There's a gentle bend in my knees. I'm bouncing up and down. My thighs are on fire. My breath is gonna change. And I'm gonna pay attention to what I'm feeling in my body. So join me in the shake. Okay, I want you to get into your body, and I want you to shake. And for now, bounce up and down. Go up and down, and just start to wake up that level of the vertebra of your spine, right? So energy moves in waves. It goes up and down like a snake. It goes like an ocean wave, and it moves like an amphibian. So right now, we are actually moving the snake more energy, right? So I am going up and down, hoping to activate more of that what they refer to as the Kundalini energy, right? So it's this wave of coming up is what I'm going for. And it's one of the most ancient medicines in the world. And if you go into scientific, even NASA is discovering they have these shake machines, unbelievably like high velocity shake machines, that when they move at such a rate, they actually help build and strengthen your bones. So people are being sent off into space using these intense shake machines because it actually will help with the density of the bones and heal the body. So, it might sound cuckoo and crazy, but it's all science. So join me in the shake. And so bounce, 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 bounce. And I am finding, I'm like, whew, I got the breath coming up, but there's a blockage in my sacrum and in my throat. So I'm gonna slow down my bounce here because I've identified something that feels blocked and it's not actually getting activated in the shake. So I'm actually softening the shake, and I'm tucking my tailbone a little bit so I can get into my sacrum. So I want you to identify somewhere, when you're ready, identify somewhere that feels blocked, and then slow your process and adjust your body so that you can really activate that one spot. So for me, it feels like I'm dramatically tucking my tailbone right now, and I'm kind of scooping my pelvis in and out so I can create that wave. Now I'm going in a wave, right? I'm moving in a wave-like energy, trying to soften my lower back. Woo! Right? And just tucking my tail, squeezing my glutes, and just softening that lower back. And I'm just doing it slowly, tucking it, holding it, and then I'm releasing it and coming up again. And I'm just doing it like segments, nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy. And something just big release, so I'm just gonna wag my tail again and shake it out. Get the wrists involved, wrists and hips are completely connected. So just shake and move, shake and move. All right, feel free to make funny faces because funny faces help, just saying. All right, they totally help. Okay, so shake and move, shake and move. And now, oh, my lower back, I'm just gonna tuck that tailbone. I'm gonna flatten. No, you can't see it from here. Sorry about that, guys. Soon I will have better technology and equipment to offer you. Just saying that this is what we got for now. So work with me and know that it's not about what you see, it's about what you feel and experience, okay? So I'm describing all these things so that you yourself can drop in and start to know that there's no one way, okay? There's no one identical way. The pattern in your body is not the pattern in my body. And even if we had the exact same herniated disc in our body, it doesn't mean that the same medicine's gonna work, okay? Not the same exact medicine. There's a medicine that'll assist you, and your body requires a higher dose of something or a lower dose of something else, right? So the most powerful thing I can do is teach you how to drop in and how to self-heal. Right, some tools and methods that are utilized and best serve in this moment. Okay, good. So from there, I'm gonna come back to my shake. And so now I'm really, my tailbone's really tucked because my lower sacrum is at it. And so if you got stuff going on in your sacrum, I'm gonna invite you to kind of sink down a little bit. My knees are bent, both of my feet are nice and planted, and I'm just bouncing up and down, and it's achy. I feel achiness in my lower back, and that's okay. I'm just allowing the achiness to subside. I am breathing, making faces, and doing whatever I have to do in order to get whatever is stuck in my connective tissue, binding my bones out, right? Because if my bones don't have healthy communication and things are getting stuck in there, then I'm incapable of expressing myself fully, to truly be in my element of self, right? And this is what it's all about, guys. This is what it's all about. The more you are you, who you are to the essence of you, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Expressing the essence of who you are is the medicine, right? Who cares how messy it gets? Who cares how crazy we look? I love it. I love it. I love the expression of one's authentic self and any work that we need to do in order to achieve it. Sometimes it has to get messy. Sometimes you have to not be in your authentic self to test out the vibration of what brings you back to your authentic self. It's all part of it. So just because you had to fake it to make it for a hot second does not mean that you did anything wrong. You had to determine what was authentic to you by being inauthentic to you. It's just part of the process. So as I say that, yet coming out of my heart, because that is telling me that I've been inauthentic in different moments in time, and I've left myself, I've denied myself my authenticness, right? I've allowed myself to be inauthentic. It's coming out of my solar plexus right now, so I'm being present with that. I've allowed myself to be inauthentic in different experiences, probably because I was being nice, right? I was trying to create a niceness in the room, which never works, okay? Be kind, not nice. So I left myself, I abandoned myself somewhere. and it was inauthentic. So now I'm gonna shake again. Both of my legs are going real fast, real fast. Shake those thighs. See if you can get the meat of your thighs to twitch fast. Wagging my tail, and then just dropping in and doing some amphibious ocean wave movement. Whoo, up and down, and just allow yourself to be present with that. Move around any way you need to unstuck the stuckness. Good. So feel free to do that as long as you need to before we go to the next piece of the medicine. And today's next piece of the medicine is going to roll our feet. So what I'm going to do, I have a very specific dowel that I like to use. This dowel, it's called a Ma roller. It's quite phenomenal, yet it's no joke, guys. It's no joke. So those that actually utilize this, you must really be able to bond with it. And it takes a process. So what I am going to offer you is another version of a dowel. So one second. So there are many different forms of dowels. This is just a simple wooden dowel. This is specifically about 8 inches long. I usually like a good 12 inches long, right? About 12 inches long, so that I can have full space. It's about 1 inch round. I also utilize PVC pipes, so you can get a 1 inch PVC pipe cut to about 1 foot long. Again, super inexpensive, and this is a game changer of life. I've had so many of them, and I usually just give them away to my clients because I want them to roll their feet and other parts of their body with it. So you can find this just about anywhere. If you don't have something of this nature, then a tennis ball will do just fine. A golf ball will do just fine. People often speak of like lacrosse balls. Those are fine too. I prefer for rolling of the feet to start the process, something more like this than an actual ball, yet all about it. I'll roll my feet on stones and rocks, right? Roots of trees. So if this medicine serves you and you have nothing inside, get outside, find a root of a tree and start to roll your foot and activate the arches of your feet, okay? And so now I'm just gonna pivot this camera down, all right? So join me on the journey as we come all the way down to the floor. There we go. And so I hope this works well for us here. Good, and I'm gonna bring it here. Okay, so this is the actual Ma roller. And so if you notice, it's wider, narrower, higher point, and then a divot in the center. This specifically, I roll my whole back and spine on. And so if you wish for something of this nature and do not wish to buy the Ma roller, then I recommend 2 tennis balls and a sock. And so what you do is you take 2 tennis balls, you place them in a sock, you bring both of the balls all the way down to the end where the toes are, tie a knot so that they're really tight together like this, and then you can roll your neck, your spine, all the way down and go slow. You know, really work on getting the ache out of your back and your spine. If you feel sensitivity in your body, this is a really important point. Actually, this is a really important point. This is so important to understand. When people experience discomfort and pain in their body from rolling like this, they can often run away from it. That is a message from your body telling you that it's lacking oxygen and blood flow, right? So there's a reason when you push on your body, you experience pain. It's because you're storing pain. It's not because this caused you pain, okay? Even though, as I said, this is no joke. This is gonna really get deeper into things than other ones. Like this is much more gentle. This dowel right here is much more gentle than this dowel right here. However, I've far graduated to this dowel, and so this is nice for me, but this is what I like to use because my body is graduated to this. However, I started using tennis balls, right? So start wherever your body can withstand the level of pain that you're enduring and breathe through it, okay? So if you're experiencing pain as you're having this process, it is because your body is telling you that it's storing that pain, and the only way to get it out is to like milk it out, and you got to bring blood flow and oxygen back to that tissue in order to heal it. Otherwise, the tissue itself is not, it's not gaining nourishment, right? There's something limiting it from gaining nourishment. So, okay, back at it. All right, so I'm gonna come back up again, whoop, make some noise, and I'm gonna come back in. So right now, I have this dowel underneath the arches of my feet, right? And I'm just gonna roll right now with these fast little rolls. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on it, and in fact, I'm really working on keeping my hamstring engaged versus, I'm not trying to push down heavy. I'm just softly rolling and seeing where there's discomfort. And then like right here, oh, there's a good chunk of stuff. Oh, is that a good chunk of stuff? So I'm just gonna hang out in it. Oh, I'm gonna play around with my foot, maybe spread the toes and see what happens. Oh, that's crazy stuff. And so, but it's helping it move. So when I spreaded my toes, you like that, spreaded? When I spreaded my toes, it helped the connective tissue move some. And so go for that, go for things like that. So sometimes it's good to spread the toes, sometimes it's good to clench the toes, okay? And this is about you exploring you, okay? So discovering what works, what's letting go, what's helping the discomfort melt, okay? So sometimes you have to lean into the discomfort to get it to melt, and other times, you know, it just softly melts. So it's a process, and I will do my best to teach you how to discover that process. So right now, I've actually discovered something that's kind of numb, and it's that place right before the arch of the foot. Oh, it is, like if I go here, there's discomfort, and then I get here, and it's kind of numb. And so that's actually a key point. And in fact, that directly relates to the lower back and sacrum area where I was struggling earlier. Interesting, amazing, love how this shit works. Excuse my, well, you'll get used to me. Okay, so I love how this works because your body is incapable of lying. Your body is incapable of lying. It only knows truth. That is it. It is us. It is our ego that denies the truth of what the experience is. And so hopefully in this medicine, as you start to self-discover, you'll realize your own personal truth, right? The journey of you. It's the most important part. It's the most important part. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go here now. I'm feeling like my arches really need to be stretched. So I'm gonna take that numb spot, I'm gonna pin it, and I want you to notice, I'm gonna do my best to not change this hip over here. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to not change this hip over here. All right, I'm gonna drop my pelvis down and stretch that heel. Right, what often wants to happen, now notice that, right? Drop down to stretch that heel, right? I sink into my pelvis versus like try to hyperextend the knee, okay? That's a no-no. We don't ever wanna, oh, I wanna stretch my calf, I'm gonna hyperextend my knee. What did I do? I've now disconnected from the aspects of the body that need the most work. So you, in fact, you wanna drop down and lengthen that arch. Gentle tail tuck. And then see if I can access, and I've just gained a lot of access to that numb spot by dropping down. Oh, that's some stuff, people, that's some stuff. And so that really woke up this other spot that was more under where my diaphragm would be, okay? That little pivot spot I like to use. Good. And now I'm gonna finish everything off by curling my toes hard, really hard. Like this is not really a nice feeling in my toes right now. I can feel
some tension and tightness, but I am curling those toes hard over this dowel so I can stretch. Woo, that's a nice, good. I just stretched my connective tissue so much that, and held it for that length of time, that I could feel the connective tissue get off the bone. I don't know if you can hear that popping going on, but now much, ooh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. My whole hip has let go. My whole hip has let go on that side. So now we've done that to one side. I'm gonna do it to my other side. So getting in, and now interesting, the medicine, as we said, right, there's like, today's medicine was about expression. And your body is incapable of lying. Everything we're experiencing in this moment is an expression of you. Everything. And so don't deny those expressions. They're important. It's important. You know, so often we think that we're not supposed to make sounds, or we shouldn't be like that, or it shouldn't, you know, all these shoulds. And they're all lies. That's all lies. I dare you to test that. Push against that resistance. Allow yourself to experience and express yourself how your body is asking you to. When you close, oh, that's really icky. When your body has this much pain or discomfort or limitations in it, it is communicating a story to you. Can you express that story? Because that's what it's begging for. Your body is begging for you to express your story, right? So, I'm gonna roll all of this. And so I found that little numb spot on this side. I'm gonna go all the way down the spine. Ooh. Or excuse me, or what the reflexology points of the spine are. And then I just found this really good nugget. And so this hip, I wanna drop it down. Good, right? I'm gonna drop in. I don't know if you can see that, dropping it down. Oh, that's a good time. And then just let that foot be. I apologize, the foot is off camera. See if I can bring it back over here. Here we go. Good. And then again, dropping it down, dropping it down, dropping it down. And it feels right now to curl my toes. It's actually softening my lower back to curl my toes, right? That was nice. And so that area changed, and I want to go dig for another little nugget of goodness. So I have more freedom. Because it's always about freedom, guys. Freedom. The more freedom you have in your physical world, you have in your emotional world, in your mental world, right? It's all about freedom, guys. It's all about freedom. No expectations, right? That's what the card said today. No expectations. Enjoy the journey. Oh. Wow, right there. Right there. Wow, that was a big deal for me. Good. So roll those arches, reshape your foot as you need to, and sit into your pelvis. Don't hyperextend your joints. We don't ever want to hyperextend joints. We want to stack them. We want to stack our joints. And that's going to be a video all in itself, is how to stack the joints. Good. So right now there's a nugget around my toe, and I'm just going to hang out there again. I'm going to curl that toe hard. I'm going to pin that area on the toe mound itself. I'm curling my toes hard like a fist. Oh, and it's achy and it's a little crampish, and I'm going to lean into it more because I know that that's how change is happening. Okay? So there it is. Oh, and it's coming out the toes. That felt good. That felt so good. That felt so good. All right, good. So, come on down. Hello. So, today's medicine. Reconnecting to our spine, right? Reconnecting to the walking staff inside of you. Like right now, I didn't even roll my spine.
I didn't even lay down to roll my spine, but my whole lower back has let go, right? The whole lower back has let go. I have more movement just because I shook, right? And rolled my feet. So know how simple the medicine can be. It took less than 30 minutes, right? You just listen to me gab, make some funny sounds. So on that note, I will offer you, as I said earlier about the tennis balls, what I do is I will take that and I'll lay on it like here. And I'll roll all the way down my vertebra, one vertebra at a time. And then I take and I roll all the way down the back, right? Sometimes I go fast and sometimes I hang out and go slow, okay? So do what you can. Is there one ideal way of doing things? Of course. Optimum, there's always an optimum process. However, at any given moment, it's not about optimum. It's about doing. It's not about, oh, I have 2 hours today so I can drop in and roll and do all these things. It's about, I have 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes. I have 5 minutes. I have 20 minutes. What can I achieve in this amount of time, right? And so do something for you. Do something that awakens the story inside of your body so that you can breathe through and free it. Thank you for joining me for the medicine today. I hope you enjoyed yourself as I enjoyed sharing with you. Peace out, Tribe.